Hello, I'm Emma Hammett from First Aid for Pets. Today I'm going to talk to you about travelling safely with your pet. We often have to do long journeys and family travel as well with our cats and dogs, and it's not something that they're used to. And you need to make very sure that you are safe, that they are safe, that they're not posing a distraction to you, and that if you were to brake sharply, that they are not going to pose a danger for themselves or for you. So even if you were braking sharply at from 30 miles an hour, it's been calculated that an unrestrained border collie would be propelled forward in a collision with a force equivalent to the weight of a polar bear. So that will seriously cause severe injury to either you and them, or certainly to them. So just bear in mind that can cause damage. If your pet is loose in the car, they can pose a danger, and you could also be breaking the law. So it's really important to maintain your safety, to maintain pet safety, and to ensure that you are complying with the law. Now, the Animal Welfare Act 2006 means that we are responsible for the welfare of our animals, and this includes whilst they're in a car or vehicle. The Highway Code states that drivers must make sure that dogs and other animals are suitably restrained in our car, and failure to comply could mean that we are driving without due care and attention. And if we're involved in an accident because we're distracted by a pet, we could be accused of dangerous driving, and it could also invalidate our insurance. So really important for everybody's safety that you think carefully when you are transporting your pet. So an unrestrained pet can get in the way of the steering wheel, foot pedals, and when they're putting their heads out of the car windows as well, that is not good for them either. So preparation's key. Always plan your route carefully, ensure time for stops, factor in contingency plans for delays. Be aware that the sun coming through the window can make it very hot in the car for your pet. They should have access to clean drinking water, and sadly in traffic jams it has been known for pets to die of heat stroke because the sun has just been coming straight through, and it's really hard to get a contingency for that. But you should be aware that if the sun is coming in, that there should be some sort of sunshades, or you may need to try and get off the road out of the traffic jam and ensure that they are okay. So unless you are travelling a short distance to your vet, try and avoid travelling with a pet who is seriously injured, bleeding or vomiting. With any newborn pets or those that are incapable of feeding themselves if they're not accompanied by their mother, and a pet that's heavily pregnant or has given birth within 48 hours. They shouldn't be doing long journeys. Make sure you consider the size and temperament of your pet when you're working out the best way to transport them. So very often the sort of nice pet travel cages are great. They're fairly comfortable in there, and particularly if they've got used to them, so they don't find them intimidating. So they should be left in the kitchen or wherever the pet's used to being, with the door open, with a favourite toy in, with some drinking water in, so that they can wander in and out and feel familiar with it, so that you're not increasing their stress levels when you're suddenly putting them into a cage space while you are travelling with them. So make sure that they do have time to get comfortable. And when you're getting ready to go in the car as well, make sure that the pet is getting in and out and feeling comfortable and understand that you are about to do a long journey. So make absolutely sure that they can access clean water during the journey. And make sure as well that they go to the loo before they set off, and that they go for a short walk or a run around the garden or have some form of exercise before they're cramped in, and give yourself time to stop and let them get out and have a run as well. Regular breaks, important for children and pets. So all cars should have a first aid kit. So a human first aid kit has articles in there which will be helpful for pets. However, a pet first aid kit will also have specific chew-resistant pet bandages, a foil blanket that can keep them warm, insulate them from the ground, gauze pads, saline, and an absorbent mat to sit them on. And think about how you could transport them. If they were injured, a parcel shelf in the car can make a very useful stretcher. Now, a lot of pets have travel sickness. So if your pet is severely affected, your vet can prescribe some anti-sickness medication. It can be helpful for them not looking out of the window if that triggers it. Otherwise, get some fresh air coming through. If you've got a larger animal, then you can get pet seat belts and restraining harnesses, which can be very helpful. But just make sure that whatever you're choosing, that it is of the right size so your pet will be comfortable. So during the journey, stop regularly, ensure the animal has regular access to drinking water, take a supply of their usual pet food and favourite snacks in case your journey's delayed. Never ever leave pets in the car on a hot day. The temperature in the car can be twice as high as that outside. And if you do need to leave them, because sometimes you just have to, then please make sure it's only for a very, very few minutes and that they are parked in the shade and there is some circulating air. But if you can avoid leaving them in the car, please do so. And keep animals cool whilst driving by turning on the air conditioning and opening the windows. And as I said before, never let them drive with their head out of the window. I hope that's helpful. That's Emma Hammett from First Aid for Pets.